So I thought it would be really fun if 2024, this year, for the whole entire summer, spring, fall, if I showed you everything I harvested from my backyard. So it's currently April. I do have some things growing and we're gonna do our very first harvest. Today, we're making a fettuccine, well, not fettuccine, I'm using a rigatoni Alfredo pasta with chicken, and usually you put spinach in it. So I have spinach growing here, but I don't want to use that spinach. I have lots of spinach growing. I want to instead come over here to the kale.
Oh.
And this is last year's kale. So kale is a biennial, and I want to harvest the kale before it goes to flower because it's starting to go flower. And once it starts to do this, it starts to get bitter. And I want to hurry and get as much kale off of this before it flowers. Then I'm going to let it flower and collect the seeds so I can grow them next year. I also started some baby kale down there, so I'll have more for this year. Right here. And what we're going to do, we're going to use this kale in place of the spinach in our Alfredo pasta. Also, we have been harvesting some asparagus. Some makes it into the house in a jar with cold water. The other just goes right to our mouths because it tastes like peas. They're so good. And our dogs love the asparagus. So this is like our little asparagus bed. You can see them pop them up everywhere. And then we have a new bed starting right down here. That there's little baby ones, but that will be, we won't harvest from that for a couple years.
Atlas! Are you eating a kale? No.
The dogs
Did
do
you just
know.
snatch asparagus?
They're hunting. They're hunting for the asparagus because they
Bro.
like it. So I'm just gonna go along and fill this basket with kale leaves because this is still very tender. We're gonna use this for dinner, and the rest I'll either freeze or dehydrate. And I can use it in future recipes, or I could powder it. Okay, so this is the basket of kale that I harvested. This is all the new growth from this year. I didn't have to do a single thing for this. This just popped up on its own from last year. The leaves are young because they're from this year, and there's not a single pest problem on these leaves because it's so early in the season. No pests. This is all perfect kale. So this is the harvest.
Whoa.
There is a lot. I really packed it in. We're gonna wash this and then take out the little stems, like devein them. Wow. And then we'll use some for dinner tonight, and the other will probably freeze. So for future dinners.
Well, that's a lot of kale.
Okay, that is the kale pasta dinner. It is runny. It has not got time to set up, but these kids are headed to karate.
So we gotta eat it no matter what.
So then we have some breadsticks to go with it, but it turned out nicely, I think, with the kale in the dish as soon as it sets up a little bit. Okay, so it's harvest day 2. Well, not day 2. I've been harvesting from the garden off and on, but today I wanted to make some potato salad because we're going to be barbecuing some chicken. David's got some beans in the smoker, and I thought it would be nice to have potato salad with this. So I was coming out to the garden to harvest some celery and then probably some green onions for the potato salad. So it is May 3rd. This is probably my next big harvest. I'm gonna go ahead and clip all of the green onions and all of the chives because if I don't, they're going to start blossoming, and I don't want them to all blossom. I want to be able to harvest a lot of this throughout the season, and then I'll probably just dry them and use them during the winter or even in the summer if I need them, but I think they'll just come back and I'll just keep using them throughout the summer. So my celery is very tiny. This is last year's celery and it's just came back on its own, so it's very, very tiny, but it's still, I'm still able to use it to make potato salad. So I'm just going to clip some of the outer strands and let the middle keep growing. Okay, I got enough for potato salad. This is plenty for what I need. I'm going to leave the rest to grow, and then I can just harvest that later. For the chives, I just clipped them all the way back, and then I'm just going to go ahead and wash these and dice them up, and I will dry them. And I'll probably put some in our potato salad today, but we're going to grab the green onions next. Okay, while I'm out here, I want to harvest some more of these asparagus. I've been saving some of the asparagus to be able to have it with dinner. I think today would be a great day to have it. So I'm going to harvest the larger spears of asparagus today and put them with the other spears that I have. They're in cold water in the fridge, and then we'll make those up for dinner as well. Alrighty, so this is the harvest for today. We have a basket full of spinach that I'm going to freeze dry, and we'll use it throughout winter. We'll probably keep using it in fresh foods. We just had the other day some spinach and some leeks, which is another harvest. We had those in some eggs for a breakfast burrito, and it was delicious. This spinach is really tender because it's still kind of cold outside. So we're gonna get that put away. We harvested a couple leeks that I'm probably going to put with crispy potatoes. I wanted to harvest them because they're starting to get these little flowers on top, and then they'll go hard. And so these are the bigger stalks. I have a whole bunch more leeks out in the garden that we'll be harvesting as they get bigger. And we got another bunch of chives. We've already harvested a big bunch of chives. That's our second one. And then a bowl full of oregano. This will come in handy when I want to make pizza sauce and spaghetti sauce later in the season when the tomatoes are done. So I'm going to freeze dry this and get this put up in some jars. We got another bundle of asparagus. We'll probably have some more asparagus, probably another handful will be ready by tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on how much it grows, because asparagus can grow really fast in just a day. And so you kind of have to keep up on it and go check out in the garden once or twice a day to make sure that the asparagus isn't getting out of control. We've been able to harvest enough asparagus that we could have it at least once a week in a meal. Our asparagus bed is not very big, but it does give us a lot this year. And then I harvested a ton of green onions because I don't want them to flower. I want them to just keep producing. So I'm going to probably freeze dry those as well and put them away so that we can use them in different things like eggs, just pretty much any dish. Eggs, soups, potatoes, anything that we need green onions for. So that's today's harvest, and as you can see, it's a lot of the greens because it's still kind of early spring. We're not quite into summer yet, and it has been kind of cold. And I think later this week we'll probably be harvesting some bok choy, which I'm really excited about because this year my bok choy grew really, really well, and we like to eat that in kind of like a stir fry, I guess. Today I noticed that all these tiny bok choys were starting to go to flower. You can see where they're starting to develop a flower, and so I wanted to come out and harvest all the larger bok choys before they start flowering so that we can use them for dinners. So I just have little circles of bok choys around the trees over here and over here. Alrighty, I got a basket full of bok choy, and it's a good thing I did because not only might they go to seed, but they're also starting to get marks of slugs, and so it's good to get it harvested now. But I think it might be my cutest like green vegetable. They have like these cute little shape to them. Okay, so we're going to be making those up for dinner tonight, and maybe even preserve a few for a future dinner. Some of these are pretty good size. It is the first week in June, and the other day I noticed that my hi Logan. I noticed that my two tatsoi plants, which I've never grown tatsoi before, they were starting to bolt. So right in the center you can see like little flowers starting to form. And so I harvested those the other day. But then this morning I noticed that the celery was also starting to bolt. So today's plan is to get the celery harvested. I've also been harvesting buckets or basketfuls of spinach and kale and just preserving those, drying them for winter. Alrighty, there's the basket full of celery. It is brimming full. So with this, I can even use the leaves, the stalks and the leaves, and I'll just chop it up and freeze it or freeze dry it and have it available for stalks or to put in soups or other things later on. Today's harvest is the last of our spinach, which is sad. We'll have some more in the fall, but for now, this is it. This is the final bits because it's getting so warm that this spinach is going to start bolting soon, and I wanted to get it harvested while it was still tasted really yummy, sweet, not bitter.
That's still a good amount right there.
It's a good amount of spinach. And then I harvested some kale. as well, because the pests are coming out, all the insects that love to eat this stuff as it gets warmer, and I have so many other things I want to harvest that I probably am not going to sit and battle it because I have lots of preserved kale. But we're going to get this put up. I'm hoping to put this in the fridge and be able to make spinach strawberry salad because we got our first pickings of strawberries. It's not much. The slugs and some roly-polies, the little potato type bugs and birds got some of the strawberries, but we did get this much. This is going to Ty. We're not even going to make a salad with it because Ty has been waiting for these strawberries to come on. So this is Ty's harvest for today, but it's the first one. Last year I got roughly 100 cups of strawberries. I'm crossing my fingers we'll have that much this year. Then I decided to pull a garlic just to see how big it was getting.
Look,
it's tiny.
It's so long.
Yeah,
the garlic piece, itty bitty.
Little tiny. So we're gonna let this dry out or use it up, but it's not ready. I was just curious and I got eager and pulled it. So in the future we'll be harvesting garlic, but it's come along nice. This is what our harvest is for the day. Today we are searching for more strawberries. We picked up another handful that Ty ate yesterday, and when I was out weeding I saw some more strawberries, so Jake's helping me and he's going to get all the way back to the fence line and pick some of the strawberries. I think we'll have another handful. Right now we're not getting like bowlfuls, but that I am sure will come.
I'm not seeing any strawberries either.
You'll find some, because I know I
see green ones,
I saw a
but not
bunch.
red ones. Mom found one.
I just have to show them where they're at, because they like the riper ones grow more by the pavers because it's warmer. And then as you go back, there is more back there, but you really got to dig because the strawberry bed's quite full.
This is the haul.
Yeah, it's another little handful. That's about what we're getting every day now. So our asparagus bed, we're letting it go to flower, so that's why we have these really long stalks. We didn't harvest them and they got too tall, and so they're going to flower.
Harvest it and you just have a really nasty asparagus.
Well, I might pick a top off for Atlas. I think I'll harvest this one because he does like asparagus. Here you go, buddy. And that's why he's out in the garden, is he's trying to find something to eat. So I planted a whole bunch of peas for the dogs because they like peas.
They do.
And we'll eat some too, but I tried to plant a lot so the dogs could eat them. So they are my little garden buddies. Today's strawberry harvest, a little bit more than yesterday. These ones I'm going to take to my dad because he loves strawberries so much. So we're getting a little bit more. Pretty soon we'll be able to make some either strawberry pie filling or strawberry jam, or maybe crepes.
We are in for a special treat. Check this out. Homemade potato salad. Katie makes the best potato salad ever, and there's a secret ingredient in here. It's celery, but not celery from the store, celery from the garden, which is a much more robust flavor. It's really good. In this bowl here, strawberries and spinach. Guess what? Both from the garden, full of the essential vitamins and minerals. They're so delicious. Homemade dressing.
Poppy seed dressing.
Poppy seed. Don't eat too much of this one. If you know, you know. And then we got pulled pork sandwiches. So we're gonna put some cheese on a bun, throw some pulled pork. And I'm telling you, it's a special treat. Good thing Katie built a garden here because we are reaping the benefits. Right, Ty? He said yes.
Strawberry season is officially here. So this is our first big bowl of strawberries that we have harvested this season. We've had smaller harvests, but from now on, I'll be getting bowls like this and they'll just progressively get larger and larger every single day. So we have a lot of things that we can make with the strawberries, crepes, jams, just eating them fresh. And I am excited because there's nothing better than homegrown strawberries. I am out harvesting more strawberries this morning. So we harvested a bunch of strawberries the other day, a big gallon Ziploc bag full of strawberries that we ended up giving to a friend, and so today I'm out harvesting more berries because we are headed out of town and I want to make sure these berries get harvested. I'm also going to be pulling like some snow peas here that we could take along with, as well as like probably some green onions and whatever I could find in the garden to take with us. We're going on a camping trip and we'll use those items in whatever we're making. So the strawberry hunt is on. I'm trying to find as many as the ripe ones as possible because every day I'm getting bowls of strawberries at this point. When they come on very fast, and then it's hard to keep up on it because I get like big bowls. And so I'm just usually giving away whatever strawberries I can, and the rest I'll probably freeze and put away. I think today's harvest is going to go in the freezer, and then Jordan is not going camping with us, but she will end up taking some strawberries with her when she leaves. She'll come and harvest some. And David's not going camping either, so he might harvest some strawberries for his parents. So they'll do that while we're gone on this trip. But today we're going to search for them, and it's really fun because you just go in here and you pull back and you could see a lot of the berries in there, and so we just pull back kind of the leaves, and wherever there's red I just go in and start pulling. So I haven't been letting them get super duper ripe on the vine because slugs and birds, so I do pull them when they're about that color. This is today's berry harvest. And I think I'm going to take a bunch of them and give them to my father, and the rest will get in the freezer. Alrighty, so now that I got the strawberries put away, I want to go back through the garden and find some things that I can harvest to take along with on our camping trip. I know I definitely want to get some green onions, some leeks, maybe some herbs, and some peas or snow peas for sure, because we're going to be doing tinfoil dinners, eggs, potatoes, things like that I could easily throw those things into. So we're gonna go see what we can find. So I have a bunch of these purple peas throughout the garden. They are King Tut peas. They were supposedly found in King Tut's tomb. I actually don't like the taste of them. The taste of those purple peas, to me, they're okay at first, a little bit starchy, but then they leave like a powdery taste, like a dry cotton mouth taste in your mouth after you eat it, which I find very unpleasant. I've tried shelling them and eating just the pea or eating the pod. Both times it still tastes the same. I'm going to let them get a little bit bigger and try again, but for now I'm not sure that I want to take those on my trip. I don't think I will ever grow those again. They are not my favorite, but I do see some kale over here, so I think kale goes really nice in eggs, and it's still growing. The bugs haven't got it, and it hasn't bolted. My kale from last year did bolt, but my kale planted this year has not. Okay, next I want to get these snow peas and harvest because we can use those in tinfoil dinners, especially with the shrimp tinfoil dinners. I think the shrimp and the peas would pair really nice with some garlic, and so we're gonna harvest some of these very young snow peas. I have them throughout the garden, just random. I planted a lot of peas this year because of the dogs. They love peas. So I have lots of these that we'll get. I have a lot of lettuce heads that are ready to be harvested. I did harvest some and made a salad the other day. I've got a bunch of lettuce. We're not having a salad on this trip, so I'm not harvesting that today. In this little mess there are some chives, which I will add because those are perfect. I have onions growing amongst all my strawberries, so I think I'm just going to pull off like a few of the green onion leaves because the onions are not ready yet, but I'll get some of the onion leaves pulled off and we'll use those up as well. And I'll just pick them from different ones so that we don't use up all of them on each one of them. Okay, down here I have leeks, and I think I'll just grab one leek to put in our potatoes when we do potatoes. For this, I'll just chop the leek down at the very base instead of pulling it out, because then hopefully it will come back next year. Alrighty, so this is today's little harvest that we will be taking on our camping trip. Those are the leeks. I got the peas, some chives, kale, and some garlic scapes. And we'll just use that while we camp. It's a nice little harvest.
Okay, this is part of today's harvest. I've picked probably 3 times the amount of this. Actually, it was 3 1-gallon freezer bag of strawberries, and that was this morning. Went out tonight, and this is how many more were ready to be picked. Picked some lettuce. This is about half of what I picked. I'll show you in another clip what I'm using that lettuce for. And then here's some peas. We're gonna take this on our UTV ride tomorrow and enjoy some fresh peas and strawberries. Again, I picked probably about twice the amount of many peas this morning. Jordan took them to school, so she took strawberries and peas this morning. Forgot to film that, but here's what we got tonight, right before it got dark.
Alright, today's strawberries and oregano. Fill the big basket full. We'll dump these out and see how much that is. Alrighty, so here's today's pea harvest. We have king tut peas, we have some snow peas. We're going to put those into probably a stir fry. I started pulling the garlic, but we need to go out and pull the rest of the garlic because I think it's ready to get dried. And then I pulled some of the larger beets, and I'll can those because the only way we like beets is to pickle them. And then Atlas trampled the Swiss chard. He started barking and he got excited when a dog came by and he trampled it, so I decided to pull it because it got squished. I got some more kale off the harvest. I thought we were done with it, but we've had some cool days and some hot days, and I think the kale is still good and it's not bug ridden, so we're gonna put that up. Pretty good harvest today, huh?
Yeah.
So let's go harvest the rest of the garlic.
Start pulling it?
Yep, I brought David to help pull the garlic. So it's all starting to brown at the bottom, and I don't want it to go yucky, so we're just going to pull all of this that's right here and try to get the actual bulb of garlic out. I don't remember what these are, what types.
That's a big boy.
That's a big boy garlic.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and I have 2 more patches of garlic. This is just 1 patch. But I don't think the other patches are ready.
It's kind of satisfying.
It is. It's like digging potatoes.
Are these it?
Yeah,
Same?
I believe so. I think they all are.
I have to ask for permission because I don't know exactly what this stuff is. Oh, I got 3 there.
Yeah, so we'll hang these up to dry outside because I put one in the house earlier that I was just testing to see if it was done, and it stunk so bad.
Smells like garlic.
We live in a very dry climate, so these will hang up outside. I'll just string them up and hang them from our little sitting area, and we'll smell like garlic for a month.
No one's gonna want to go outside. We'll hang them all around the perimeter of our house, keep people away.
Yeah, right? So we're gonna get the rest pulled, and then we'll show you what we've got.
All right, this is about 25 pounds of garlic.
Yeah, so from this patch, this is the garlic. We pulled it, we decimated it. It's all pulled up. It's hard to see, but
so
they are some
strong.
really nice bulbs of garlic.
We could like sell this on a farmer's market.
Yeah, so then in the fall we're going to take some of the bigger bulbs and we'll separate the cloves and we'll plant them for next year. Okay, well, let's go put those away. This is today's harvest. So we got a kohlrabi that I accidentally pulled, so I just harvested it. Got some sweet Thai basil, some normal basil, some mojito mint, grapefruit mint, and chocolate mint. This is the garlic harvest all strung up. It's in our little patio area, seating area. The first day it did smell, but it does not smell anymore. And I think it looks kind of fun just hanging up there and being preserved. So we have about probably that much more garlic to harvest from another bunch, maybe a little bit less. But we're just going to let that dry for a couple weeks, and that's probably when the other garlic will be ready to harvest, is in a couple weeks. Alrighty, today's harvest is probably the last of the strawberries. I did harvest, since you last saw the big one, I harvested a gallon bag full of strawberries, put it in the freezer. This is pretty much the last that we'll get because we are going to be out of town for 2 weeks. And there's no way to harvest the berries. I do have someone watching over the garden, but I don't anticipate a lot of the few remaining berries to get harvested. There's only a few left. I got some more kale. The kale's doing really good this year. I think it's because where it's at, it's staying nice and cool. So I can keep harvesting kale. And then we got some peas, a bunch of snow peas and regular peas. So I'm going to put this away. This will be the last of the harvest for 2 weeks. I'm not sure what's going to get harvested while I'm gone and whether you'll be able to see that, but I'm excited to come back and see what the next ones are because we should be getting into the warm weather stuff like peppers and tomatoes.
Hi, my name's Katie and welcome to my garden harvest tour. Just kidding. I am Mom's, she's teaching me basically. I'm her little intern. But I want to give you a tour of Mom's garden because it absolutely popped off. Also, I will show you a little bit of my garden progress too. But first of all, we got a singular carrot. Just one. Why was it just one?
Because the others weren't ready.
Because the others weren't ready. We've got Mom's beets collection, which I personally don't really like beets, but I'm glad she likes them. They're gonna pick one. They look like radishes. We got a massive zucchini and it's striped, so that's fun. Okay, comment down below. Do you know what this is? 10 points to you if you know. Okay, I'll reveal the answer. It's a kohlrabi. I don't think I've ever had this in my life. So that's fun. We've got some sweet peas,
Snow peas and snap peas.
we got a mix of snow peas and snap peas. Ooh, look, a purple one. These are the dog's favorite snack. We got leeks, Mom's favorite. We have blackberries and raspberries, which this is my favorite. Thank you very much. That's delish. We have something scapes.
Onion.
We have onion scapes. Let's see, does this smell like an onion? Not really. We have onions that weren't really ready to pull, but they were also kind of going bad at the top, so Mom just pulled them anyway. Little onions. And then we have something else scapes.
Garlic.
Garlic scapes. We have garlic scapes. Wait, do you eat this part, or do you just eat?
Just the greens. Chop the flowers off.
Okay, and then let me show you my little harvest. So, my cucumbers this year are absolutely popping off. These are all of my cucumbers. They're massive chunkers. So I'm gonna pickle them today. My first time ever pickling cucumbers. My other harvests from my garden that you haven't seen are zucchini and yellow squash. I literally picked a yellow squash like this big today. It was bigger than my head. And then the tomatoes are growing. And I've gotten a few lettuce, that's out though. And the radishes, which I realize I don't like radishes. So it's very fun. You get to taste a bunch of different things. But I'm excited to pickle. So that's the haul.
Alrighty, so we just have a small harvest today. In addition to this zucchini that we picked a couple days ago, I have also harvested these zucchinis. So I have another one of this variety that's a little bit larger, a couple of the black beauties, and then this white one, which I'm not sure what variety it is. So I should be getting zucchini coming in now probably every couple days, maybe 3 days, probably every 2 days. I'll probably be harvesting zucchini. They grow really fast. They kind of hide, and then all of a sudden they're like too big, which is what happened to this white one. It's really big, but I think it will be good. It's skinny, so I don't think we're gonna have a lot of seeds in it. And I just have to go out there and dig in the zucchinis to find them hidden. The other thing that I harvested today was some more basil and some more Thai basil. I'm really trying to stay on top of the basil so I can get it harvested and preserved, put away for spices, especially the Thai basil, because I will use that in cooking, especially in the fall and winter. And I wanted to harvest some more mint. We made mint ice cream before we went on our trip, and we were gone for a couple weeks. And I think it turned out pretty good. It was very potent, but I think it's like edible. Next time we will make it with less mint, but I want to try fresh mint brownies and try to use it in another dish because I have a lot of mint. So let's go harvest that. Okay, so I got a basket full and it smells so good. Now the reason why I want to stay on top of it is because if any of these come down and they touch the ground, I'm gonna have mint everywhere. All over in my lawn, all over in this bark and the mulch. So I'm trying to clip those and use them up. So today's projects, we made flowers with mint. So that's why the kitchen smells of mint.
Big time.
Big time. I just pulled out of the oven some 2 loaves of zucchini bread. It's super hot.
Smells
so
good.
We're not gonna try that right now, but we did also make some mint brownies. And since David was here,
mint brownies.
David is here for the mint ice cream and it was super potent. So we're gonna now try the mint brownies and see if we like those.
I can taste the mint.
Wow.
I can taste the mint. You know what it tastes like? Brownies and mint chocolate chip ice cream. Yeah. So the mint is very profound. It's good, but it's there. It's like, hello.
It's definitely mint brownies and it tastes like it's edible, right? It's good. It tastes good.
Give me a glass of milk and I'll eat half that pan.
Yeah. I think with some vanilla ice cream on top would be delicious.
Yeah.
Or you could even chop this up and put it in ice cream and make ice cream with like mint brownie ice cream. That would be yummy. It's just different than the other, but I think this is a good way to use the mint.
Have you addressed the birds in the background?
Oh yeah, we have birds.
We adopted 2 birds. And every time the camera comes on, they wake up.
So we have parakeets. You probably saw them in a video a really long time ago when David brought home and surprised the family with 2 birds.
Like 3 or 4 years ago.
Many years ago. But then my father wanted the birds and so they went with my father to stay, but now he's at the hospital and so we have the birds while he's there.
Yep.
And they're loud. Okay, these are a hit. Harvest more mint or no? Stop with the mint.
Depends on what you put in. Let's keep trying it.
I already harvested our first corn of the season, which I'm excited to see how good the corn is. Some more kohlrabi, we've been giving some away, as well as some more zucchini, which we've also given away. This one hid from me, and the weed whacker got it, but we'll just cut that off and use it. I've also pulled some more garlic that I'm letting just dry there, as well as some more onions as I see them. We'll just use those up as we cook because they're kind of small. Alrighty, today I'm having Jake and Ty, my garden helpers.
Yep.
They're gonna harvest some green onions and 1 cabbage.
One
And
cabbage.
Let's go. I'll follow you.
How do you do that? First off, let's find the easy the cabbage. Where is that, Beet? I don't know.
They're looking for stuff.
Wait, what are we finding?
You need to look for a cabbage and some green onions.
Out over here. It's hard to tell when you have like many different plants that are on top of each other.
It is a different type of gardening. I do plant like a lot of mixed because I feel like it helps with the pests.
Okay, these are onions. This is your green onions.
So these are actually bulbing onions, but you can see they have bulbs down in here. They're red onions, but what you can do, because we need green onions, and these are called onion scapes. You can take and just pop up a couple of these onion scapes, and we'll use those instead of green onions. So why don't you find?
Do you not have green onions?
Well, I have green onions back there, but I don't know if they're doing so great.
Okay.
We're gonna harvest some of the scapes.
You just want like these, the ones with
The
bulbs?
ones, yep, the ones with the flowers.
And how far down? Like all the way down?
Yeah.
Or
Yep,
halfway?
all the way down.
Oh, this one had water in it.
Yeah, some of them are a little bit juicy.
Like juicy.
Okay, so we're gonna use that for dinner tonight. Let's go find the cabbage.
I found it. Here, you just grab it. I want to see you just grab it. You're gonna pull your entire plant up, Mom. Is it okay if the entire plant comes out?
Yeah,
Is that meant to happen?
it's okay. You can do that or you can cut it, but you didn't bring anything to
Oh.
cut it with.
He literally just brought the roots out. I took all of it out.
Shake it as best.
That is not, I think you're supposed to cut it, Jake.
There you go.
I don't think that.
Oh, okay, so we need to find something to cut that with. Okay, we got it cut.
Yep.
Let's hold it up so that we can see the front.
See your prize.
See your prize. Cabbage. Okay, so what parts do we eat?
The bits that aren't eaten. So in the center.
Okay, so we're gonna go peel off all these outer leaves.
Yep.
Alrighty, so we got all the leaves off and we got all the, there's just one layer of like the slugs had gotten the outside.
Yeah.
So we took that off. We're gonna go wash it up, saw off the bottom of that, and then it's gonna be ready for dinner tonight. Woo! So with that cabbage, we're actually gonna make a chicken cabbage salad for dinner tonight. And this weekend, we're gonna make some cabbage rolls.
Okay.
This is today's quick little harvest. I'm taking this to my brother because his zucchini plants died, and I have lots of zucchini and squashes. This is the first green bean harvest we're harvesting for dinner tonight. So I'm excited to get into green bean season, so we have lots of side dishes. Alrighty, here is today's harvest. So, starting with the onions, I pulled out all the onions that I had that I could find. I think there's probably still some more hidden ones. Pulled out all the red ones. These did really, really good for me. There's some small ones, but there's also some really big onions. So the big ones I will save to use later, and I'll use up the little ones first. Over here, I did the yellow onions as well. They did not grow so well, so next year I probably won't plant them with the strawberries. I'll probably give them a more sunny spot. This little harvest of potatoes is from a potato tower that I put in. I did 2 potato towers, and I wanted to pull one so that I could plant some fall spinach and leafy crops. So the potato tower was just leftover potato seeds that I just didn't want to throw away, so I used like the least favorite potato seeds in the potato tower, and it was able to grow this. I wouldn't say that's a great harvest, but it's something. It's better than just throwing it away. That's a meal at least, maybe 2 meals for us. Pulled some Swiss chard. I've got to cut out all the bug bites, but I could definitely use up all the stems and some of the leafy greens. Got some more green beans. I found a random edamame plant. I'm thinking it self-sowed itself because I don't think I planted just one edamame plant. I think that came from last year. Another zucchini. I've been actually giving away a lot of zucchini to family. So this one is just a fresh one that I haven't given away yet. And then our first tomatoes. Got some cherry tomatoes. They're starting to come on, so I'm excited for the larger tomato harvest. But I am tired, it's hot outside, so stopping today. That's the haul. This is today's harvest of beets. I found a ginormous one, so I decided to pull a bunch, and we're gonna can those up and make some pickled beets. I've already pulled some and gave some to family, and we've previously harvested some. And then out here we have some oregano, green beans, basil, zucchini. This one I pulled small because I didn't want the lawnmower to get it. It was hanging out in the lawn. Some more potatoes that I just found as a straggler plant that just came up on its own, and I wanted to get it out of the way so I could plant spinach. Some kale, some breadseed poppy. They're the seeds so that I can use those for baking like lemon poppies. A little bit of Swiss chard because I recently harvested that, so I only had a little bit. And then some Thai sweet basil. Alrighty, today's haul is a lot of green beans. We got behind on picking them. These purple ones are dragon tongue beans. They will turn green though when you cook them. There's a massive amount of green beans there. A lot of zucchini. They also got away from me and got big. A couple more potatoes or tomatoes and some cucumbers. And so we'll probably pickle those cucumbers with Audrey's and make pickles. Alrighty, something sad though that happened is my little corn patch. So it rained and the wind came and it blew down a lot of the corn that was not planted. I guess it didn't sink its feet into the ground very well to stabilize it. So it blew a lot of these little corn stalks down. I did plant really close though, so it could be my fault. I don't think those are gonna make it. We'll see. But I doubt that they grow corn when they're laying like that. However, we are harvesting more corn. I've picked some corn to give to my dad and it is delicious. It is really yummy sweet corn. Alrighty, so I thought it might be fun to take you on a harvest day around the garden and see what we can harvest, and then you can kind of see how I harvest. I just basically walk the garden looking for anything that's ready to pick. So I usually start right here. It's right as soon as I come out the back door. I have a zucchini plant growing right here. I picked the zucchini the other day, so this one is not ready to harvest. There's just a baby one on it. In there though, I do have some basil. So I think we'll go ahead and grab the tops of these basils. Okay, here is the harvest of basil. Alrighty, over here in this pot and some of one of these pots, I have some sweet Thai basil. So we're going to harvest some sweet Thai basil. And I'm just going to use scissors and just really trim those back and grab a bunch of it. Okay, over here I have some cherry tomatoes that I can start harvesting. Okay, in here I have just 2 cucumber plants, and one is like a pickling cucumber and the other is this little lemon drop cucumber. I can't remember the name. I think it's a lemon drop. But there's some little tiny cucumbers that we can harvest right here. We have some tomatoes. These are really cool ones. I think they're Queen of the Night. And they're very pretty. And we have some more tomatoes right here. Those. Okay, there's another tomato. I think this is the black crim, I'm pretty sure. The apples are starting to change color, and I can't remember what variety this is. This tree has 4 apple varieties, and I just can't remember the name of this one. So I'm not sure if it's ready to eat or not. I might harvest one of those soon and try it. But underneath I have some bush beans that we'll go ahead and pull a lot of the bush beans. Alrighty, so right here is some wild, I have a tag by it. It says it's wild za'atar oregano. I haven't even harvested this summer, and it is starting to go to seed, but we're gonna clip some of it because I would like to use this in cooking and see how it's different than my other oregano. So I'm gonna clip that clear back, and we're gonna use some of this oregano. Alrighty, I got the little bit of harvest of bush beans from around that tree, but I noticed when I came through this morning that this pull beans have beans ready to harvest now, and we're going to be harvesting those. There's actually some massive ones I missed, and these will need to be eaten or preserved. So we just had some pull beans or bush beans in our chicken pot pie last night, and I also have celery that's just over to the left, and we've been harvesting a lot of celery for random meals, so I'm not going to harvest that today because I've been really picking it thin, just using the outer, but I'm going to go ahead and harvest all the pull beans that I can get off of here. We might pull some of these leeks. There's some pretty big ones, so I probably will clip some of the big leeks. Alrighty, this is the amount of leeks that I'm gonna pull today because these are pretty large size of leeks. The rest I'm gonna leave for more of a fall harvest. I love leek and potato soup or just fried potatoes with fried leeks. They are so delicious. It's actually one of my favorite vegetables in the garden. This zucchini got so big, the plant just toppled over onto the lawn along with the cosmos. And I wanna say, no, I think I planted these tomatoes. So these are some tomatoes I planted. There's some beefsteak. They're pretty large, very big, so they're getting close to harvest. But in here, I noticed that there is a zucchini. So we're gonna harvest that one. Here I have even more bush beans that are ready for harvest. I'm gonna grab those as well as some more basil. Okay, our basket's getting full. We got a lot of green beans and some more basil. And here we have some beets that I wanted to get harvested. Those are small. There's some big ones in here. Alrighty, in this jungle I have a couple cabbages that have been ready to harvest for a while, and the bugs are getting outside of them. This one's kind of concerned me, so I might harvest these now and keep them indoors until we're ready to eat them. Okay, there's another zucchini squash. There's actually two in here. We're gonna harvest the larger one. Alrighty, so this is the big harvest for the day. We have been harvesting so much from this garden, and there is much more to harvest. I am really excited to keep going. I'm not going to harvest any more bush beans. I'm going to let those go to seed, so I have seed for next year, but we have plenty of more pole beans that are just barely starting, so we'll be harvesting those clear until our frost. In the meantime, we're going to probably eat what we can of these, preserve the rest. The cabbage we'll probably just put in the fridge until we can cook with it, because it will last a long time, and probably chop up leeks and put them in the freezer for fall soups. But we're going to preserve these and enjoy the harvest. This is today's harvest. Jordan harvested some stuff to take back to college.
I'm gonna be eating so good at college. Like seriously, whenever I go to the grocery store, I'm always looking for like yummy produce and stuff. And it's so, hey, don't eat my zucchini. Wait, what is this?
Yeah, zucchini.
Oh, this is zucchini. Hi, boy. But this stuff just like far outbeats the stuff at the store. Like it is so fresh and just like so good. So I'm so excited to take it to college with me.
This is today's harvest. So we got some apples. They're the first apples to ripen and come in early. We had another great harvest today. So today we picked some more basil, some tam jalapeno peppers, which are, they're more mild than the jalapeno peppers, a cucumber, some leek scapes, some tomatoes. These are ripe. They will never change color. They're a green variety of tomato. Strawberry, I found that hidden in the asparagus. Some normal jalapenos, some green beans, zucchini, and tomatillos. Alrighty, so I've been harvesting potatoes. These came out from the garden behind the corn. I was checking them to see if they were done. And then I also harvested a couple huckleberries so I could get the seeds and plant some new huckleberries next year. This is what I've pulled so far, and I brought indoors, but there's more outside. So I decided to go ahead and pull the rest of the potatoes that are behind the corn. The ground was wet, but I didn't want to wait for it to dry out. So I pulled them. I just started chucking them over the row as I went behind it. So we've got some pretty massive potatoes that I've been pulling from the bed. There's a really big one down here. They're monstrous. Huge russet potatoes. And then I've got a few other varieties mixed in there, like there's some little red ones. I think there's some purples. So there's a bunch. But that is the potato harvest from behind the corn. We've got more corn to harvest, but we're going to be having a barbecue this weekend. And we will be pulling that corn to cook up with our friends and family. Over here I have some more potatoes right here. I'm trying to decide whether to pull them. I think it's time to pull them. You can see them peeking out. So I have another row of potatoes right along here that goes with the tomatoes. And I know you're not supposed to plant them next to each other, but I ran out of room, so I planted potatoes right there because they were just leftovers. And I had super tiny, like the worst seed potatoes left over from my own seeds. So I planted them in towers, so that tower also needs dumped. So I might have the boys come get the rest of the potato. Alright, so I have Jake and Ty, and they're going to help dig some of these potatoes that are right here in the corner. And basically, I just told them to get in there with their hands.
Okay, what's the potato looking?
You can rip that out. Yeah, that's the potato.
Okay, perfect.
So you can grab that and just rip it up and then you're gonna have to start digging where it is.
Go, Jake, go. Go, Jake,
Will
go.
they die? Okay.
I got a potato.
One.
You got one potato, put it in the basket. Hopefully there's more.
There's 2 potatoes.
I don't think your potatoes were ready.
You gotta go dig deep too, like
How far?
Oh.
like
This potato?
okay, maybe these ones aren't super
Oh.
I was gonna say they're not super big, but that
Cluster
one's like
potato.
that one's actually decent. Dig down.
What's this?
Potato.
Can I pull it?
Yep.
No, you can't.
And this?
It's potato.
Pull it. Oh my.
There you go.
We got potatoes.
I'm guessing you don't want these ones.
Nope. Alrighty, we dug up that little corner bed and what we got was that many potatoes.
So many potatoes.
Which I think we planted probably 6 or 8 potatoes we started with that we planted in here. Alrighty, this is one of the potato towers. I already harvested one, so I don't expect big potatoes in there. You can just tip it over and dump it out.
Where do you want me to dump it?
Right here.
Yep, just right there towards the lawn, and then we'll scoop it, we'll rake it back up in after.
Oh, don't try to lift that up.
Oh, there we go. Here you go.
You got one little
One.
tiny potato.
One
Can
for
I have it?
Atlas. Right there. Wow.
You get some little tiny red ones. Oh, nice, Ty. That's super little.
Oh, wait, we got some other potatoes here.
So these are
Oh,
probably the
those ones are
Yukon
switchy.
Gold, where the others were russet, so these are going to be smaller no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want these ones. These ones are no bueno there. Very squishy.
There might not be a lot in there. Alrighty, we got a few more tiny potatoes, nothing really large out of that, so I probably wouldn't recommend the potato tower. It's probably not really worth it even with the small extra seed potatoes. I think you'll have better time in the ground. Okay, so this is the potato harvest from that very short row right there. It's not a great potato harvest, but we will add it to the rest of our potatoes, and that will go down with the potatoes that we harvested earlier today that was behind the corn. So this should be a pretty good harvest this year. A lot of little ones that we'll have to eat right away, but
A lot of potatoes.
alrighty, since our last harvest, I harvested about 6 large zucchini yellow squashes that I gave away, but this is today's harvest. So I pulled the rest of the leeks. I got a basket full of leeks that I could put in the freezer to make potato soup or leeks and potatoes fried. Here I have some basil, some lemon savory, some Thai sweet basil, some rosemary, some fennel, and some oregano. And then I have a pile of green beans, some tomatoes, some little cucumbers, jalapeno peppers, and some tomatillos. So that is today's harvest. Alrighty, today we had a little harvest of squash. So I just picked a couple because that one was ready, so I picked the others so that we could have them for dinner. Alrighty, here's today's little harvest. We got a few bell peppers, couple tiny apples, the peaches on the tree. They are like a little bit scabby, so I've got to figure that out for next year, but they will still be fine to eat. Green beans, some tomatoes, and a few tomatillos. It's getting cold outside and I decided to pull the bulk of our corn harvest today. We've been enjoying corn for a little bit and now we're just gonna probably put the rest in the freezer for winter. And so some of the corn turned out really nice with the full cob. Others turned out to be squatty little half cobs because I didn't go out and shake them and they didn't get pollinated because they were planted in only a few rows instead of deep rows. So this is the bulk of the corn harvest. A lot of these little ones I'll probably vacuum pack and put in the freezer so that we can have like crab or shrimp boils in the winter. These ones I'll probably take off the cob and put in freezer bags that we can use up for soups and things like that in the winter. Today's harvest is some cherry tomatoes that I did not plant. They just came back from last year, so we got a bunch of those. A large zucchini that I didn't want to get run over by the lawnmower, and also it's time to pick it anyway. A bunch of jalapeno peppers, a couple Queen of the Night tomatoes. These ones are really fun to grow because I like the coloring on them. And then some tomatillos that I picked before they fell to the ground, because I've noticed a lot of my tomatillos are falling to the ground and then they're just rotting. Alrighty, here is today's harvest. We got a large harvest today. So what we harvested is all the peppers, well, most of the peppers. I pulled in most of the sweet peppers and the jalapeno peppers because I'm going to try bringing in a couple pepper plants during the winter. It's getting too cold for the peppers, so they're starting to not love it. These are a white variety of tomatoes, and these are a green variety of tomatoes. We also have a bunch of other colored tomatoes. These are actually quite soft. They're very juicy, and so they just don't ripen to a red color, but they stay green. And then we have some zucchinis, some more tomatillos, and we're getting to the end of the green beans. I'm letting some of them get really large. I'm going to leave them on the vines now, probably to go to seed so that I can just harvest them and plant them next year. Alrighty, here's today's harvest. We're now at the end of September, and this is what we're pulling from the garden. So we have some green beans, some more tomatillos, some tomatoes, some monstrous zucchinis that kind of just got out of the way that I forgot about. Some Swiss chard, and some kohlrabi. Okay, today's harvest is a bunch of tomatoes, tomatillos, a kohlrabi, Swiss chard, and some zucchini. Okay, so this has been a very long video, but we're coming to the end of the garden. This is when we should be having our first frost date. However, it really hasn't happened yet, and we're still getting into the 90s in October.
Yeah.
In what used to be zone 5B, but now we're 6A because it changed. I still think we're 5B, but who knows? Maybe they really are correct. Maybe it's 6A. So instead of pulling everything from the garden, because some of it won't pull even clear probably till November, like my Brussels sprouts and some broccoli and leeks, they can grow till that long. I thought it'd be fun to do one last garden tour to wrap up this video. You'll see everything that I still have to harvest. And as you can tell back here, we have a project, an expansion of the garden going on. So we're expanding this corner of the garden, and how we do it is we lay down cardboard that is free of any tape or labels, that's just got black printing on it or basic cardboard. And then we like to just lay down straight compost. I'll cover the compost before winter with some straw or something to protect the soil and get those microbes growing in the dirt over winter, so they'll be ready to plant in the spring. So that is going to give us a great big area. I'm planning in the spring, after the dirt settles, I'm going to be putting in some footpaths, like some little walking stones. So right now it will just be muddy to harvest, a little bit messy until next spring. And then I might do one little arch thingy to grow up some pumpkins or squash or loofahs that one of mine and Audrey's favorite YouTubers, Brie Ellis, that she does. We think it would be fun to grow like she does, so we might do that. We might try, growing something new in the garden. But let's figure out what we have left to harvest. So my tomatoes just started coming on. I have so many green tomatoes. And this might be an actual green variety. This is an actual green variety, but it's not ripe at all. So I have a lot of green tomatoes that will never change color. They'll just be green. So I have to come out here and I have to give them a little squeeze every day and squeeze all the tomatoes until I find one that's ripe. I don't know if I'll grow the green ones again because
it's so confusing.
It's so much harder. I have to sit and squeeze all the tomatoes. There's lots of tomatoes.
Yeah.
This whole row is tomatoes. They actually ended up covering up a zucchini that was producing very heavy in the summer. It's now just dead. Like, it trampled it. The tomatoes, they're monstrous. So there's some pretty big tomatoes in here, and it's just covered. Underneath there is a zucchini. We're never gonna get it. Never getting it. There's a little bit of corn that we have left to harvest. I'm waiting to see if it will plump up. before frost. It's not quite ready yet. And so it'd be nice to have some little fall corn to eat. That would be lovely. So we have that left. There's some sweet potatoes, which I've never grown, and I don't think, unless our summer goes on really long or our fall, I don't really expect to get any sweet potatoes from this experiment this year because they just didn't really take off. My vines are very weak, and this is a long variety, like 120-day variety, and that's our entire season is like 120 day. And these don't even go out until like July. So the possibilities of these actually producing something is very slim. Next year I'm gonna try sweet potato again, but with a shorter variety. Then over here we have a couple kohlrabi. There's a few that's spread throughout. Kohlrabi is like one of my favorites, and my dad is enjoying them as well. We have some more zucchini that looks like they're growing. These zucchini plants, I'm telling you, they produce so much this year. So much. The Swiss chard, I've been harvesting bunches of, and it will continue to grow. It's just, I've got to get all these volunteer tomatoes off of them. I've got to peel those back. So I'm going to rip those out. I didn't even plant those. But then we'll enjoy Swiss chard in our soups this fall. More kohlrabi, broccoli. I think that's kohlrabi. There's several kohlrabis along here. You're getting your shoes dirty. I'm so sorry. Some cabbages.
They look ornamental. Like they're so pretty. It's like a flower.
Yes, I've tried for 3 years to grow cabbage and never been able to harvest. This year I have harvested cabbage, I'm pleased to say. There's some beets that are growing that I will pull out later. Little baby kohlrabis. This is sage. I actually might rip out that whole entire plant because I'm moving it to a different spot in the garden. I'll be harvesting Brussels sprouts probably in November because it can go down to a 0-degree temperature, I believe.
That's crazy.
I will double check, but those are the little sprouts. They're just forming little. So it'll take a long time for
Brussels
those.
sprout.
There's some more zucchinis in here, as you can tell. This one's been a favorite. It's like a white zucchini. Then down here, so I already did one harvest of my leeks. I actually harvested all my leeks, but instead of like most people, they just rip them out of the ground. I actually just chop them down to the dirt. And now look, they've grown back, and I've got beautiful leeks again that I can harvest probably the end of October, maybe even into November. And I'm gonna just chop them down to the ground again. Now, the stalks can stay pretty nice like that because I have strawberries that protect it. Instead of having to bury the soil up around it, the strawberries are shading that stalk for me. So I like planting my leeks and onions and chives and garlic, things like that. Usually I like to plant them amongst the strawberries. It keeps pests away. It makes them grow beautiful. I get a second bonus harvest.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Wow.
Have a little bit of lettuce that we've been harvesting for salads and for hamburgers. And we'll continue to harvest. Waiting to pull in these. I think I've talked about this several times. So these are the rutabagas. I'm waiting for a nice cold frost to pull those in. I've never even tasted rutabaga, so I'm excited to try that. But as you can see, I'm starting to get powdery mildew, which we don't usually have an issue with, but once the cold temps come in, that's
Powdery
coming.
mildew.
So I don't know how much longer we'll have on it. Those will be harvested.
Disease.
So under a lot of my trees, I have bush beans. I'm letting those actually go to seed, and I will be saving the seeds of the bush beans for next year.
Oh, yours are thick.
Yeah, I'm trying to let them go to seed and dry up the pods. And then I have some jalapenos. I've dug up a lot of my pepper plants. I've actually harvested them, and I've actually dug up the plant, trimmed off all the branches, sprayed off the roots, and I've actually taken them indoors because I want to see if instead of just overwintering, I can grow them indoors, because pepper plants are actually perennial. They will grow year after year after year. They could be like 6 years old pepper plants, which I think is really cool. That would give me a jump start for next year. So I'm playing with the pepper plants this year, crossing my fingers. It's already getting new leaves. I'm excited.
Yay!
We have down here some figs that will still need to come in. if they get big in time, they're so little. They're baby figs. Just little tiny figs.
These ones do not require wasps to be eaten.
Nope. Nope, they don't.
Most figs eat wasps.
Yep, and I have pole beans as well that I'm trying to see the chunker.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just trying to let all my beans go to seed so I don't have to buy seeds. Over here I have apples. I'm waiting for a cold snap so that I can harvest some of the apples. I've harvested one bunch of apples. This is 4 different varieties on this tree. I think 3 varieties grew this year, and we harvested 1 already because they were starting to fall and the birds were eating them, so I knew it was time to harvest. They were an early variety. So those will come in later. More probably peppers, I don't know. I have different peppers throughout the garden. Over here I have to finish up harvesting all the tomatillos. I'm waiting for them to get a little bit bigger. So I want them to be big like this to split, and for that husk to turn a little bit brown. We'll harvest all those. Over here, my first ever, I've tried
It's bigger than
my
last
whole
time I saw
life
it.
to grow squash and pumpkins. Like, I have never been able to, here or in Florida. And we got random free seed from a store that they were throwing away, some plants.
Oh, it's huge.
And it grew 2 massive pumpkins. And so I'm gonna have my first ever squash pumpkin.
There's another one
harvest,
back
which I
there.
can't believe.
And there's a baby one right here.
Yeah, if that makes it in time. I don't know. But that's pretty exciting for me. I mean,
That's
a
a
free
huge
throwaway
pumpkin.
plant that they were just going to throw away. It's the first time I've ever been able to grow. Oh, and apparently I have some little strawberries I might find. Do you see that? That's So in this section I did plant the everbearing strawberries. Down there is just June-bearing strawberries. I'm sure they're going to get mixed up. But it is fun to have a little strawberry in the fall when you find one. You're like, oh, spring.
Yeah.
It tastes so good.
And then grapes.
So we already harvested the grapes. I only had 2 bunches, but man, I just envisioned grapes hanging everywhere.
Yeah, it's already spreading so
and
much.
just eating them to our fill and making juice and raisins.
And they are delicious.
They are so good. We really enjoyed the 2 bunches
yeah.
of grapes. Okay, we gotta go around this way. Like, I just have random peppers, so I plant kind of chaotic. You'll find random plants everywhere, peppers and... Oh, look at that nice one. I wonder if these are poblano. Those might be poblano.
That's fun.
And I got over here, I want to take this one indoors, but I don't want to
Whoa,
pull
what
off the
is that?
fruit. It's a purple bell pepper.
What?
Which, how fun is that?
I've never
So-
seen purple before.
That would be fun. Okay, come over here. Come over this way. I've got to pull in the next few days. I have planted some bok choy. Some kind of, I think it's a mustard, question mark? I'm going to have to look that up. And some tatsoi. So this is bok choy and tatsoi.
yours is looking so good.
So I will be, yeah, Audrey's got bug
Mine
bitten.
looks sad.
And mine did too, the outer edges, but I have enough where I can pull off this inner and harvest the little. So probably this week, the tatsoi, the bok choy will come in and we'll make like a little stir fry out of it. It's one of the boys in my house, Jake, Ty, and David's favorite vegetables. They love the bok choy.
Crazy.
So excited to pull that in. And then kale. When kale was trendy way back when Audrey was a little girl,
Yes.
I was not into the kale. But homegrown kale, I love it. It's so good. So I have a whole row of kale here. It's actually quite tall, but it's toppled over. Wow, and someone really enjoyed my kale as well. I think I'm going to be pulling this in this week.
Yeah,
At least
they're
some of it.
eating it all.
But this will go clear. I mean, it can go past defrost. And so I can harvest it a long time. I like to pull it in and then I just trim off all the bug bites. I don't eat the big bug bitten areas because when I have this much, I don't need to. So I just get rid of all the bug bitten areas. I think back here we have, I think this is called Orac, O-R-A-C. I want to say this is called, I think this is Orac. It's right here. Yeah, it is, Orac. I've never tried that before. I want to give it a go, see if we like it.
Are these tomatoes?
Yep, there's more tomatoes. There's lots of tomatoes out here. Yeah, it's just this area has turned into jungle. At the beginning of this video, you'll notice that my spring garden was very tidy and very bare. And now it is crazy. There is so much green everywhere. Plants just doing their thing, growing where they want to grow. And it's fun. It's chaos. So this garden has been a lot of chaos, a lot of fun. Audrey has been enjoying her garden. If you want to see everything she harvests from her garden next year, go bombard All Around Audrey channel.
I know, I don't know why I didn't vlog my garden harvest, but I did do Instagram. I'm gonna make a reel, so I'll post a reel, like a short 1-minute video of everything, and then maybe next year I'll actually vlog it, because I don't know why I didn't do that.
This was her first year and she was major successful.
And well, I did vlog our master gardening process, so that's gonna go up probably November.
Oh yeah, there you go. Alrighty, that is it for this very long video. If you made it through to now, give yourself a high five. I appreciate you sticking with us. Go try to grow something, because it is like just so good.
And don't go with a house plant as your first thing you're gonna grow, because those are harder than a garden. Go with a tomato. Just grow
a bean, even beans or something, bush beans or something, sunflower, whatever you want. But
sunflower, yes, those are easy.
Do something vigorous. But it's been so much fun. We find a lot of joy in gardening, and then we get to enjoy some yummy harvests. If you do garden, let me know what your favorite thing to garden is and what variety, and maybe I will try that in my garden next year, because we like trying new things.
We like trying new things.
Alrighty, that is it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.